What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's Rev and I'm back with another video. I know it's been a minute. I've been dealing with some stuff, but I am back and this is probably going to be either my first or my second video. Today I have a smoky eye tutorial for you guys. I wasn't going to post this at first because I wasn't sure about how I liked it. I didn't really like how the look came out, but I looked over it again. It wasn't too bad, so I decided to still post it. So here we are. So the first thing I'm doing is going in with some Maybelline Fit Me foundation as my base because I did run out of concealer and I'm just using that to prime my eyes. I also forgot to say this in the beginning, but make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if you are currently enjoying it. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I post. And of course, comment down below anything else that you would like to see. So now I'm going in with this first palette by Beauty Treats. It's called Neon Brights. I'm going to be using 2 oranges and a brown. I just pointed to the 3 of them. That last one at the bottom, well, the second one I pointed to at the bottom, that's going to be the first one I'm going to use. I'm going to put that in my crease and I'm actually going to bring it up higher than my crease because I want that color to show the most. This orange that I'm using is going to be the lightest orange. That's why I'm bringing it the highest, because I am going to deepen the crease in a minute with that other orange that I pointed to a minute ago, and that brown also. And also, I apologize if the lighting is a little weird. The lighting in my bathroom washes out the color sometimes, so I apologize about that. So we're basically going in steps, like I just said. Now that we've built up the lightest orange, we're gonna go in with the next darkest orange. And I didn't show you this on camera, but that other orange that I pointed to, I mixed it with a burnt orange from the palette in my hand. The Tarte palette is the Amazonian Clay, the Tarte's Pro palette. I used a burnt orange from there and I mixed it with the orange from the Beauty Treats palette, and I'm using that to deepen the crease. I'm going as far down as I can in the crease, making sure that that other orange is still peeking through at the top. And now we're moving to the next step, which is the brown. We're going to use the brown to further deepen the crease. Right here I have a Kat Von D palette. I'm not sure the name of it. I know there was like a set, like 3 different palettes that came with 3 eyeshadows and a blush. I can't remember the name of it right now. I'll put it down in the description if you're interested. But I'm using this chocolate brown, that's the only way I can describe it, to deepen the crease. And now that I think about it, I don't think I used the brown from the Beauty Treats palette because I think I chose to use this one instead. And with this brown, I'm actually going over the orange. As you can see, I'm trying to get like a brown with like an orange undertone, so that's why I brought the brown up high. But I'm still making sure to leave that first orange we used at the top to make sure it peeks through. So next I'm going into this e.l.f. palette. I don't have the palettes with me right now because I'm not home, so I will have all of the names to everything in the description box, but I'm using a caramel brown out of there, and I'm using that to blend in between that orange that's at the top and the brown to just help it blend together more seamlessly. Oh, my bad, I just realized that's not an e.l.f. palette, that's a LA Colors palette. But like I said, it'll be in the description box if you're interested. So now this next step is really to make sure the blend all around, basically all of the outer edges, is smooth. So I'm going in with a nude colored eyeshadow. And you could honestly do this with setting powder, with like translucent powder. I don't do it that often because sometimes the powder can get kind of heavy if you're heavy-handed like I am, and it makes your base get muddy, so I try not to do it. I usually just use eyeshadow, but you can use translucent powder if you're good with that. Or you can try a tip I learned from Beats by Deb. If you're into makeup, you know who I'm talking about. But you can set with the setting powder and then use the eyeshadow on top of it. Like set it to make it smooth and then blend it with the eyeshadow. It's more steps, but whichever one works best for you. I just like to use the eyeshadow. And if you noticed before I started, I blew some of the eyeshadow off of the brush. That's because you don't need a lot for this step. A little bit goes a long way, and when you're blending, be very, very light-handed and make sure you're using a fluffy brush. So each step, make sure you're changing brushes. Sometimes you don't, but that's gonna be a whole nother video probably about brushes. But at the top, the closer you get to the top near your brows, the fluffier you want the brush to be. So the next step, we're moving to the lid color. I wasn't sure how this was going to look because I did use a lot of warm tones, and gray is very neutral, the exact opposite. So I didn't know how it would work, but I was like, if I make it a smoky eye, it might work. So here I'm just like testing it out. I'm seeing how it looks. I really wanted to do a cut crease, but I didn't feel like cutting my crease with foundation because it just takes longer because it's not as thick as concealer. So I just decided to try and drag it up as high as I could with a brush. And honestly, this eyeshadow is not very pigmented. I don't know. This is the only eyeshadow in the Beauty Treats palette that isn't that pigmented. So I had to wet the brush because you see it pops more now. And yeah, I just brought that up as high as I could. And yeah. So now we're getting down to like the last little finishing touches. I'm really just blending around the crease to make sure that it's seamless because it is easy to go overboard with the lid color when you're not doing a cut crease because you don't really have a guide to follow, especially if you have hooded eyes like me. I have to go above them, so sometimes you got to clean it up. And what I'm doing now basically is using the same colors, only I'm using more brown, and I'm using that to smoke out that outer V, and I'm actually dragging it down onto my lash line. It kind of gives like a liner effect without using liner. And yeah, it was working out for me on this side. The other side, I don't know. Like everybody if you do makeup, you know there's always like one eye that just doesn't cooperate. So you could probably see in the video, but we made it work. So after this, I basically just cleaned up my face because I had some fallout and setting powder was on my forehead somehow. But anyways, I put some black liner really close to my lash line. I didn't want to do too much. I gave like a small wing, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If you watched this whole video, thank you for watching. I hope to see you again. Give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.